Good morning. Welcome to Smart News of Business. As Manju Barija, today is the 22nd of December, and definitely as just a few days to the awaited day. That is the Christmas celebrations. But anyway, of course, in the business world, everything still continues to run just as normal as how it ought to run, actually, despite, of course, the joyous celebrations that are awaiting it through all the way. Well, it's quite over a cold Friday morning. Of course, not really so much jam all the way. I can really perceive that majority of the people actually, of course, have traveled to the village, up country, and so many related destinations to celebrate Christmas with their loved ones. But of course, here in Smart Means Business, we definitely can't stop to bring you the right business information. And basically, today we are discussing the dynamics behind Christmas entertainment. What are those financial dynamics that are behind the Christmas entertainment? Because we need to understand that regardless, depending on the season, all the content creators that create this content, most especially those that are monetizing this content, it's quite key that you tailor this content to the expectations of the audience during such a time. And only in that way will you be able to relate with their emotions, and they will be in position to actually buy the tickets and support your related content or concert, regardless, or it could be a movie that you actually putting out there. And this particular season, it should all relate with the consumers. And well, today that's going to be the major point of discussion, because as we know, Ugandans, anything to do with luxury, they can actually do whatever it takes to spend a penny for that. So how much more during a festive season? And you're quite very strategic when it comes to when you're putting up the dates you choose, when you are setting up that concert, are quite very key in determining that. Probably, of course, we can take a look at on a report in here, most especially when it comes to the event tickets. Now we're taking a look at the dynamics, about the financial dynamics rather, behind Christmas entertainment in Uganda. Now, of course, concerts, festivals, and theoretical performances experience a huge surge that is in ticket sales, that is during Christmas. Major concerts can attract thousands, generating revenue in tens of thousands of shillings, because, for instance, last year's they are quite what we call the Kasangati Fest, which is estimated to have grossed over 100 million Ugandan shillings. Of course, that is not a bad amount of money, most especially last year when the economy was still in recovery mode, when we actually recorded increasing figures of inflation from 7 to 8. It even reached almost 10% in the inflation. So that shows you that during such a time, regardless of how the economic situations were tough for the Ugandans, they were still able to get into their pockets and spend for luxury. That is one area that Ugandans really never failed in regards to that. Now, of course, if we go to the nightclubs, of course, we've been seeing the event ticket sales, and we saw the Kasangati Fest selling over 100 million Ugandan shillings. And now we take a look at the nightclubs here and bars at the same time. Christmas Eve, Boxing Day are particularly busy, most especially for nightlife establishments, with increased spending on drinks, food, and cover charges. Now, high-end clubs see revenue per rise. That is to about 100,000. I mean, we're talking about per head, in such a period, and people are definitely willing to pay for that. But of course, it shows you how huge the population is, the population distribution around Kampala, because despite the fact that majority have actually left to up country to celebrate Christmas, you can still see that those few that stay in still make full utilization of the different leisure places, and they are willing to spend a penny from their way. So you should be really strategic. If you have anything like a bar, you have a resort, it could be a hotel, and you don't relax in terms of service delivery in such a time, because luxury people are really willing to spend that. Now, of course, we can't leave out the aspect of travel and accommodation, because Ugandans often travel within the country or return abroad from Christmas, and of course leading to increased hotel occupancy and the revenue that is for the tourism sector. And we know that major hotels and resorts can see occupancy rate reach about 90% or higher during this period, with room rates of course also increasing. Yeah, because now some people actually have a tendency of organizing a little concerts, jazz jazz nights in some sort of a way to attract people. All this is entertainment in such a time, and how it's significant when it comes to boosting revenue of different individuals. And now of course we take a look at the retail sales. Now Christmas shopping, of course, significant decorations, all this perspective, and all is of course relating them to the world of entertainment. Now basically, away from still that, it still brings us to another discussion when it comes to artist fees and performance costs in such a time. Because popular musicians and comedians in most cases command high fees during Christmas. That is quite key, and with some headliners charging upwards to about 50 million Ugandan shillings, 20 million actually if you're lucky. Somebody will tell you 10. Most especially we're talking about the big fish, in the industry. Now we're talking about 50 million Ugandan shillings per performance in such a time. So as somebody that you are an event organizer in such a period, you should be strategic. It calls for increased investment. Yes, you have to really increase investment. But now the only challenge comes in back that the interest rates are quite high, because at some point you might need to get a loan to put up such big events, because if you're paying an artist 50 million, that means the venue that artist is coming to perform in should represent that true value, that hey, I'm on a big stage and I'm performing for 50 million Uganda shillings. So that calls for increased investment, which is definitely can be maybe a little bit hindering when it comes to organizing that classic expectation as a result of that. Now, of course, here this brings us back to the venue rentals, equipment, and the production costs, which also add some increased expenses as a result of that. Now, we also take a look at the aspect of the marketing and promotion, and during this time. Remember, we are discussing the financial dynamics of Christmas entertainment in Uganda. Now, we take a look at the event organizers spend heavily on advertising and promotion, like I mentioned. That is to attract the people, audiences, because it's normally a very competitive period. Each person that has a park, a leisure park, is trying to have the audience, so it calls for aggressive marketing strategies. But remember, like I told you, it matters the theme of the concert that you're trying to organize, as it should be at least aligning with people's expectations during the festive season as a result of that. Now, these invest a lot of money to attract audiences during the competitive Christmas season, and definitely this can include radio, television adverts, social media campaigns, and influencer partnerships. Well, that is quite a lot. So you can see how even the media industry, the social media influencers, they earn some good money, income to promote different concerts. So you can see how the entertainment sector really can employ a huge number of people during such time of the festive season, where there is lots of competition. Each person is trying to look for an audience as a result of that. All right, now, of course, we maybe some other perspectives. We can take a look at staffing and overtime. Businesses often require additional staff during the busy Christmas period. You're having a result. You're organizing a huge concert in your resort. You would definitely need to create employment for quite a number of people, though this is normally seasonal employment, for the people. And you must be willing to really put in, because you need people. Remember, it's about competition, and competition calls for quality. Quality, efficiency, and all those perspectives, they should be put in place for you to be competitive. But that means for you to make that possible, for you to make that happen, you need to have people that know what they are doing, because this is the only way out that you're going to outstand as a resort owner, hotel owner, or any related leisure park, to deliver the quality, to attract the big audiences, which definitely bring in the revenues that you require at the end of the day. Now, of course, still maybe just a few facts that you need to know that the Ugandan entertainment industry is estimated to be worth 500 billion annually. But of course, with Christmas contributing a significant portion to that. So 500 billion annually, with Christmas having a huge portion on that 500 billion. Now, of course, a survey by the Consumer Insights Uganda found that Ugandans are planned to spend an average of about 100,000 on Christmas entertainment. Of course, so if you are organizing an event and you're trying to set the pricing, these are facts from Consumer Insights Uganda. This is a report of 2022. As of after COVID, Ugandans are willing to spend about 100,000. So you must be having an average range on which you set the tickets. Of course, the VIP, the special people, but of course, talking about the normal entrances, it should be something that is quite fair. The price should be standard according to the average of 100,000 Ugandan shillings. Now, of course, still we see that the Ministry of Tourism reported that over 1.5 billion tourists visited Uganda. That was in 2022. Of course, many arriving during the festive season. So these are all aspects from the Consumer Insights Uganda report of 2022. Of course, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, and of course, seeing also so many sources like I can observe here, which contribute to the financial dynamics of Christmas entertainment in the nation of Uganda. Well, it's exactly 14 minutes past 7 at this point in time. I'm gonna get into what's making headlines in the press briefly as we proceed with a discussion of the dynamics of Christian entertainment in Uganda. Well. Now heading into our press brief, I have the new vision with me, and definitely later on I'm going to be joined with Ronnie Charlotte, as we're going to be driving your business. But of course, still what's making headlines into the new vision here, I can see festive season, of course, police names, crime hotspots. Yeah, of course, I was mentioning aspects of entertainment, how you gonna spend on Christian entertainment, on Christmas entertainment. That means those are actually some of the avenues where some of the crime spots actually, people lose quite a lot of property, people get excited over anything else. Well, Charlotte, good morning. How are you today? You look Christmas.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good.
Christmas mood, Christmas spirit.
The Christmas spirit. Must feel the Christmas. Absolutely, I understand. And today we are looking at the dynamics of Christmas, financial dynamics of Christmas entertainment. But of course, we shall proceed with that. We can now take a look. I'm seeing police is identifying crime spots, hotspots during this festive season. So you can actually grab yourself a copy of the new vision. It's on page 3. You'll get the details of that. And of course, seeing Christmas shopping, Ugandans definitely flock downtown Kampala. It's quite a huge congestion, even late in the night, 9 p.m. People are really quite so busy doing the Christmas shopping. Yeah.
And of course, we see here Malawi conducts kidney transplant.
Kidney transplant?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
And that should really be good news for our country. We see that Malawi is already doing the transplant. That means our doctors are actually upgrading and
upgrading the skills. Yeah.
Yes, because usually when we have these transplants, the heart transplants in our country, it's rare to hear. People usually go to India. So this is actually good for our economy. People actually will have to save that money to actually pay for accommodation, transportation to go to another country to actually go for this. Yeah, I feel like this is a good Christmas gift to the country, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I feel like it's also an opportunity for us to invest our incomes back to the country, within the country, rather than repatriating them abroad. to those respective areas. Now, of course, Anglican Church seeks 2 billion Ugandan shillings for 2024 Matters Day.
Yes.
2 billion. Oh, they're already, of course, planning for the Matters Day. Interesting. And then still further, this was, I think, on the top page, security unveiling strategy, security unveils strategy to keep countries safe during the festive season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, release all political prisoners, says Archbishop Semo Gerere. He says he wants them to be released, and he says, we thank our leaders and the security organs for their efforts in maintaining peace, order and security. We cannot fail to note, however, that there have been some incidences of violence and abuse of human rights. And of course, we see that so many people are complaining about the police being very violent with most of the Ugandans, which is not actually good. Yeah,
it doesn't really portray a good image when, most especially when it comes to attracting foreign direct investment.
Yes.
Because what will a normal, peace is quite key for any investor to put in money.
Yes.
And if abuse of human rights is the talk of the day, that is dangerous.
And
that's a dangerous image.
If the citizens are supposed to be trusting them and then they feel insecure every time they see them, we're supposed to be feeling secure with them.
When we see them.
Yes. And of course, we see how the Kabaka warns on use of social media. He says parents should monitor what their children are sharing on social media, as well as their circle of friends, and this is very, very important. And of course, yesterday's topic that we had, of course, we were talking about how to make the holiday makers busy. And of course, some parents feel like having these children be on their tabs, on their phones, TikTok, on social media, it is something to keep a child busy. It is not. This is something that is actually putting a child to be busy and not disturb you, but is actually disturbing them as children, because as their growth is needed, social media, internet, we don't know what they see or hear when we're not there. We cannot monitor every moment.
We can't monitor.
Yes.
Actually, I would be urging parents, if the children are owning these, they're on these different platforms, at least they should be watching content that is building them up.
Yes.
They should be learning a skill, online, internet, from that perspective. Yeah. That would make it quite relevant.
Yes.
Now, I'm seeing here at Chisenyi land, the government asked to delay, that is a 360 billion Ugandan shillings payment. Oh, what does that involve? You'll find out the details when you grab yourself a copy of the new vision. And I may be seeing here something from Bale Adjumani to get mega water projects. I'm seeing here Dr. Silva Mugisha, the managing director of the National Water and Sewage Corporation, and the G. Yung Chao, the project manager of CCC. There are 4 C's. They're displaying copies of agreement on the project. So that's on page 9 of the new vision. But that is good news for the people of Adjumani.
Yes, and we've seen, of course, we've
that
seen
is MV Kalangala.
Yes,
2 ferries
they've adjusted their transportation and the money, but you've seen here in Kampala, the prices have really hiked. It's because of the traffic that is actually going on.
Traffic.
And with all this, you see that for them, they've adjusted the time and everything, but they say the ferries are still the same. They've not changed the prices. But now if you see the taxes here in town today, from town, let's say to where you're going, let's say you're going to Ntinda, they're charging 4,000.
Yeah, they have increased.
Which has been 2,000, which is quite high.
Yeah, it's not really fair at all.
Yes.
And I think that brings us straight to our traffic report, as you can observe. That is, I'm seeing quite a number of borders here. It's quite an interesting premise. I think this must be, this looks like Ginger Road.
Yes.
It must be.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is, yeah, that is.
Traffic lights, yes.
Yeah, at the Ginger Road, where Kampala Road joins Ginger Road. I can see Access Road right there. And yes, so it's a smooth flow. I think, did you find jam as you're coming?
No, actually the road is quite clear.
It's quite clear.
To the other days, yes.
But you see now people travel in the night, they to places. In the night it's very congested, by the way. I love traveling in the night so many times.
It feels good because the road is usually clear.
Okay. Yeah, so you can really observe people, majority of a good number of people have actually traveled already. And morning hours always seem to be just smooth, apart from a few junctions which are tricky. most especially now, like as you're coming from Bakuli, and you from Bakuli you slope a bit opposite. There is this school opposite Kampala. Some school in the central. Okay. There is a depression around the mosque, actually, near the mosque. It's always tricky. You know, there are quite huge number of vehicles. Some are coming from opposite directions. There are huge buses. That is one of those areas I still see, which is still a bit busy in the morning hours today. But take a look at, there is a fleet from Port Bell Road. Some vehicles are coming from Port Bell Road. Some are coming in from Nakawa. Yes. Seeing a huge fleet there, but it's not.
But when you see all these cars, actually, I've noticed the traffic jam that we have. Mostly, it is the roads that have potholes. It is the roads that are under construction, and it is the roads that are bad. But the roads that are okay, usually you never find traffic. For example, you see the roundabout at Pastor Kakande's church, at the roundabout there.
Could be that.
Yes.
Could be
usually you come from this side one day, it is clear.
But once you
get to that roundabout, you're stuck for about an hour or two.
It's like a potato plantation. It's like a garden. It's a garden, trust me.
Yes, it is.
It is a garden.
You can actually put tomatoes and they grow
perfectly.
It looks fertile.
It looks.
Yes.
Absolutely true. These are true facts, actually, from the capital city. I don't know, for some of you probably that are lucky, you've been moving around areas and you've not gotten a chance to see certain roundabouts, what really happens there. So now we take our eyes on the access road. I think there is a traffic officer in control of that vehicle. You know, majority of the people attribute the jam to also the traffic officers.
Yes.
There. So if the traffic lights are in control, there seems to be a smooth flow. But once a traffic officer comes in, that's why you see how huge they release these cars for longer hours. They hold this for longer hours. I mean,
but in
those
this season, if you've noticed, our traffic officers are on the roads from around 7 in the morning till 5.
Till 5.
And then in the evenings, when the traffic is too much, you see they are not there. Then you ask yourself, why are they all on the roads during the day and in the night?
In the night, they're not there.
And it's only in the festive seasons. If you look in all the years, we've had traffic officers work more during the day in the festive season. But then in the night,
maybe their salaries increased. Because
really?
Because working, if they work extra hours, they are working. They are not just.
But they stop every car. What does that say? What does that say? Even if a car is not supposed to stop.
They are working.
Yes, they are working. You're right.
All right. So we can observing the situation that is at Ginger Road. You can see those that are coming in from Kampala Road, and you're crossing over to Ginger Road. You're probably heading to Nakawa. And you see, in most cases, those traffic lights hold vehicles for longer. So what some people decide to, they can pass via opposite Uganda House.
Yes.
They branch in through, come to Parliament, slope towards Nile Avenue, link to Garden City, and they just come out of that Garden City road smoothly.
Yes.
And there is no,
usually on other days, on a Friday, on a Monday, usually when you look at this road, usually it is really, really packed. But if you're seeing 4 or 5 vehicles on the road, that means people have actually left for the
People have actually left, huh?
Something we didn't expect, because everyone was like, economy.
Ugandans with luxury. I was having a report here, anyway, I'll get back to that. When it comes to anything to do with spending on luxury, never mind about what they are going through. They will spend it. Put up a concert, they'll come.
Of course.
Put up.
Even if it is me, you say, okay, I'm saving this money if I die tomorrow.
If I die tomorrow.
You know we have that.
So we normally say that, and we end up spending. So yeah. So that is the situation like at Ginger Road traffic light. So if you're traveling to any area and you're probably you're going to link up to the Ginger Road, it's smooth, about 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes that you will spend there before you're set free to your given destination. Well, that is it for our traffic report. It's exactly 7:26. Let's take a break for now. I'm Andrew Barija with Charlotte, Ronnie Charlotte. You're driving your business this morning. And now let's take this break, and when we return, we have Caribbean, East Africa, and international updates in the pipeline.